Politics is politics. You cannot expect in a country that everybody and every day people will be happy from you. Yes, in last 10 years we are trying to do our best to build strong connection in the global world, and a lot of success has given to this world. Hello everyone, welcome to the InNews series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about India-Maldives controversy and what happened next. That Maldivian President has asked Indian troops to return their country. So, moving towards the points of discussion. First of all, we are going to discuss the news, and then we are going to discuss the strength of Indian troops stationed in Maldives, and then why they are stationed in the Maldives, what are the major factors for the fear and suspicion from the Maldives sides, and then practice question for prelims. Before that, you have to like, share and subscribe the channel. Moving on to the next slide, which is the news part. So you already know that Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu had asked the India to withdraw its military which are stationed in the Maldives by 15th of March. And they said that in Muizzu administration there is no place for the Indian soldiers, so they were asked to leave the country by 15th of March. So this is the news we are going to discuss. Before discussing the nitties-gritties about the Indian soldiers stationed at the Maldives, first of all we should know the background, and this thing has been already covered by the Aisha ma'am, but you should for the better clarification and better remembrance, I am just giving you a background of this India-Maldives conflict, that this is not the first time that India and Maldives are into the conflict, but this time the sudden occurrence has been seen from when our Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Lakshadweep, and he had posted few pictures by scuba diving, and he had not uttered any word against the Maldives. But what happened that a certain section of the internet who are called as netizens had tried to promote Lakshadweep by demeaning the Maldives, and they were using Maldives pictures, and they are saying that it's better to holiday in the Lakshadweep rather than Maldives, and this has attracted the Indian media, also the Maldivian media, and we have seen that a few ministers, cabinet minister of Maldivian government has said something wrong thing about the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which has started a trend that boycott Maldives, and they had started trending the Lakshadweep, and because of this reason this controversy has been strengthened, and by result of it we can see that the president has asked to leave the soldiers the country. But before that it has been already in the backup, and there was a background that Indian soldiers have to leave the Maldives. So moving on to the next one, which is how many Indian troops are in the Maldives. So just as many media reports are saying that so many Indian troops are stationed at the Maldives, but reality is very different. There are only 88 Indian military personnel are in the Maldives, which are not very much great in number in comparison to other countries. And what was the purpose that why they were there? So at various training points the Maldivian needed the Indian troops helps, and for the training and combat and reconnaissance and rescue aid operation the Indian soldiers and military was stationed in the Maldives. Yet there have been the Maldivian nationals, including politicians, who have protested their presence in any capacity. So before that also the soldiers had to face the protest, and Indian government and Indian authorities also knew that there are few cabinet ministers and there are few citizens of the Maldives who don't want Indian soldiers to be present there, and they have few suspicion. So in the next slide we'll discuss that what kind of the suspicion they have. But this background has been created when there was a campaign like India Out campaign in the 2020, and this time we can see the exaggeration campaign by Maldivians, and this is also one of the kind of like India Out campaign, and it is also creating lots of hurdle between conflicts between India and Maldives relationship. Moving on to the next slide. Next slide is about that why are India's troops in Maldives. So there has been a long history that why Indian troops are stationed in the Maldives. There are lots of problems which Maldives had faced, and Indian troops were successfully help the Maldivian president and other citizens to get out from all those problems. So there is no only selfish reasons that Indian troops are there. They are there to train, they are there to help Maldivian citizens and their president in a different capacity. So it is not just one-sided that only Indian troops are getting benefit from the Maldives and they are getting any kind of queries, or if they are spying on the Maldivians. The things are not like that. So earlier this story has been started in 1988 when the Maldivian president, the then Maldivian president Maumoon Abdul Gayan was into the danger, and so many rebellions were against him. And because of lots of rebels and rebellions were happening in the country, the Indian troops went there and they had protected and secured the Maldivian president. And in that way, we can see that how Indian troops have held the Maldivian president. On the other hand, we have also seen that there are so many instances where Maldives was in the danger and Indian troops have helped them. So it's because of the purpose also they are there. But this protest and this kind of feelings had been erupted when there was an election going between, and the current ruling government and the Solihian government of Maldives had different kind of conflict. And it is expected that Solihian government is backed by Indian and the current Muizzu government is backed by China. So there is a conflict between India backed and China backed. And because of that also, this countries may be pro-China, and because of that reason also they are going against India, because we don't share much cordial relation with the China also. So these are the reasons. Moving on to the next major factors behind the suspicion. So the first thing we have seen that one of the major triggers we can see when the long-standing two Dhruv advanced light helicopters has been given to the Maldives in the year 2010 and another in the 2015. And this has been given to help the Maldivian people, but it has been suspicion that the Indian soldiers and with the help of helicopters, they are not helping the Indian soldiers in airlifting or maritime trade or any kind of trade. They are spying with these kind of things. So this is another kind of suspicion. Another thing is that Solihian government perceived lack of transparency. So as I have already told you that it has been perceived that Solihian government is backed by India and current government is backed by China. So it has been expected that if the Solihian government will come to the India, that they are backed by India, and they lack transparency according to the few cabinet minister by the Maldives and also in the eyes of citizens also. So that transparency issues has caused this kind of the problem, because many have thought that Indians are helping the Solihian government to do anything wrong which is happening in the country. Another factor is the UTF Harbour Project Agreement signed between India and Maldives in February 2021. So this harbour project has been signed, but it is also a factor of suspicion, because it has been expected that by this thing India is trying to expand its maritime resources and resources in the Maldives, and because of that they are not going much clear about the many things which are happening on the maritime issues like trading, and they are also aligning with the Sri Lanka, and along with the Sri Lanka they have made this consensus that India is indulged in so many illegal trafficking and also illegal fishing kind of things. So these all suspicion has created a background for India that the relationship has become sour. On the other hand, India has also helped Maldives in setting up the police academy, and it is also in the suspicion that by setting up the police academy, India tried to expand its own wings in the country. So these are the factors which have come into the suspicion and fear, and because of that Maldivian president and citizens think that this is a cause for the national insecurity, and they are fearing that maybe there will be the problems related to the national security, and in that fear and suspicion they are taking such steps. So moving towards the next slide is about exercise 𝐏𝐤𝐿, and your first statement is 𝐏𝐤𝐿 means strength. So you must know whenever these kind of exercises are coming and whenever in newspaper the meaning has been given, you should take care of that meaning, that what this particular term means. And then second statement is it is a joint exercise between India and Maldives, and they're asking the correct statement. So kindly answer in the comment section. And coming to the mains question, so maybe because of that thing, we have seen that so many people have booked the ticket of Lakshadweep and they are saying that you should promote your own tourism. So in a way that can have given a very positive message to Indian also, that instead of exploring the other things, we should first explore our own country, which is a good thing. But in what manner or in which manner it has gone out, this should not be there, right? But by demeaning any country, you should not promote your own country. If you want to promote your tourism, you have right to promote your own country tourism, but you should not demean other countries. So here maybe there will be the question on the promotion of tourism in the country. On the other hand, there can be the question of India-Maldives relationship, and what kind of relationship India-Maldives shares, and how it has become and how it has taken a turning point. So maybe there will be the question to this also. So you have to take care of all these things. So I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you, and like, share and subscribe to the channel.